right. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to another Safeopedia webinar. My name is Samantha from Safeopedia, and here at Safeopedia, it is our mission to help you, the EHS professionals, operational folks, and any safety-minded individuals with free safety information, tools, and education. I'm very excited to have you all here today. And thank you for keeping our workplaces safe on a daily basis. Today, we are proud to present gloves that work as hard as you do. Hand safety in the oil and gas operations. The Safeopedia webinar has been made possible today by Watson Gloves, a preferred manufacturer member of AD. Together we win. Today, Rodney Taylor and Christina Young from the Watson Gloves team will give you a better understanding of how to choose gloves that not only meet safety standards, but also hold up in rugged conditions and help you get the job done. We also have Al Morrissuit and Laura Whitlock in the background from Watson Gloves. So if you have any questions for the team, concerns, or comments, make sure you get those into the Zoom Q&A and we will get to them at the end of the presentation. With that, Rodney and Christina, I'm very happy to enjoy this presentation. So let's jump into it.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to be here and look forward to the presentation and the discussion that comes after. We have about 35 minutes of content, and then we're going to reserve time for questions at the conclusion of our presentation. So our agenda today is as follows. We have one slide that's going to provide some background on who Watson Gloves is, and then we'll provide an overview of the oil and gas industry, including some important safety statistics. And then next, Christina will provide product solutions for the oil and gas sector, and then we'll transition to a summary of tools that Watson Gloves has available to help you as safety professionals choose the best product solutions for your teams. And after that, we'll close with some questions. So let's jump into it. Watson Gloves is an independent, family-owned glove supplier. I like to say personally, fiercely independent. There's so much corporate consolidation that's taking place in the safety market today. And as such, there's something really special about an independent supplier. We've been headquartered out of Vancouver, Canada for over 100 years, but we've been focused on growing in the US market for the last 4 years, and we're seeing strong growth in the US. As you know, there are a lot of glove suppliers out there. You can go to any trade event and throw a rock in any direction and hit a glove salesperson. But what makes us different? How do we stand out? Well, there are a couple of things that come to mind. One, in addition to sourcing gloves from around the globe, we have our own leather glove factory in Vancouver. Most glove suppliers rely solely on factory production from overseas and don't really make anything themselves. We're different. We've been making gloves for over 100 years, and over that time, we've developed really deep expertise around how to make high quality gloves, and as a result, what to demand from our overseas suppliers. The second point of differentiation is the breadth of our portfolio. We have a very broad portfolio of gloves. We have over 2,500 SKUs representing over 400 unique glove styles, and we are continually innovating and bringing differentiated products to market. And that leads to really the third key point of differentiation, and that is sustainability. Sustainability is still an emerging mega market. We're hearing more and more about it all the time with more and more sustainable products coming onto the market. But we have the broadest portfolio of sustainable gloves on the market today with the goal of having every glove that we sell have a sustainable value proposition within the next 3 years. Fourth, we take our role as corporate citizens, good corporate citizens, very seriously, with commitments to CCIB, which is the Canadian Council for Indigenous Businesses. Our folks on the call from above the 49th parallel will be very familiar with this very important initiative, as well as the Canadian Wounded Warriors Project. We are also proud to announce that we've just received recognition as one of Canada's best managed companies. And then lastly, we have over 7 proud years of partnership with AD Canada. There are several important organizations on this chart, and these organizations really have a massive impact on the safety equipment industry. There's one message that we want to deliver from this chart. There's a lot going on. You can read this on your own, but the real message that we want to deliver here is that we are dialed into the glove and into the broader PPE sector. We sit at the table leading the development of new glove standards. And not only are we establishing ourselves as a trusted brand in the US market, we are also helping to elevate the safety equipment industry's focus on sustainable PPE. So we've talked about who we are, and hopefully these charts have given you some confidence that we're qualified to talk to you about hand protection. So from here on, we're going to really dig into the oil and gas industry, and starting off with an overview of the oil and gas industry. In the US, there are 10.8 million full-time and part-time jobs in the oil and gas industry. The chart on the left shows the share of jobs either directly or indirectly supporting the industry by state. And no surprise, Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana rank substantially above other states with over 510,000 jobs in oil and gas, followed by North Dakota and Wyoming. It is interesting to note on the chart on the right-hand side, Canada boasts an impressive 450,000 oil and gas jobs, with 80% of those jobs located in Alberta. Really kind of think of Alberta as the Texas of Canada, or maybe Texas should be called the Alberta of America, considering the percentage of population that's employed in the oil and gas industry in Alberta. But the important point here is that there are almost 11 million oil and gas jobs in North America, representing a tremendous market opportunity for safety equipment, as well as, frankly, some significant safety challenges. And you should know that Watson has been selling into this market for a very, very long time. Workers in the oil and gas industry face a variety of occupational hazards, and this chart lists some of those primary hazards: heat, cut, slash, puncture, impact, pinch, or crush are really the most common hazards faced. But the reality is, chemical, cold ambient temperatures, abrasion, and potential burn injuries from processed steam all pose safety challenges as well. In the charts that follow, we provided icons beside the products that we present to show you which hazards will be addressed by each of these gloves. Now, if you think about the subsegments of the oil and gas market, there are really three primary subsegments. One is upstream operations, including offshore drilling and oil field development activities. The second is midstream, which encompasses pipelines, transport, and storage. And the third is downstream, covering refining operations and the ultimate distribution of the finished petroleum products. Within each sector or subsector of the oil and gas market, there is a mix of trades. The most common trades in the oil and gas industry are provided in this chart. It's important to note, though, that quite often a large percentage of these tradespeople are contractors. Companies often hire contractors to perform specialized tasks, from maintenance work to performing shutdown activities. These contractors and their host employers work together to ensure that all employees are properly trained on the hazards in their work area and ensure that the contractors meet the site PPE requirements. Yet on the purchasing side, these contractors quite often rely on local distribution or big box retailers for safety equipment. So that really poses a significant inventory planning consideration, particularly around shutdown opportunities. And so we help you, and we really position well to help you by leveraging our years of experience selling into the oil and gas market to assist you with glove recommendations and dealing with these supply chain challenges. So now we'll transition to talking about hand protection for the oil and gas industry. A recent study conducted by the Regional Association of Oil and Gas and Biofuel Sector Companies reveals that the total global incident rates in the oil and gas sector have been on a steady decline for the last 20 plus years. And this trend really holds true for every sector of the oil and gas market. It's really a credit to you, the folks on this call, the hardworking people in these high-risk roles. Another factor that was cited in the study is technological advances, including advances in PPE. And we're going to dig into some of our solutions shortly, but despite the overall safety gains, it is interesting to note that 37% of all OSHA recordable injuries affected workers' hands, representing over 770 injuries. So hand injuries are still top of mind in the oil and gas industry. And we've talked a little bit about the problem. We're going to now transition to talk about some solutions. And the easiest place to start here is minimum performance requirements. In our experience, we have found consensus around the minimum requirements in this sector, the oil and gas sector, of cut A5 per ANSI ISA 105, and dorsal impact performance of level 2 per ANSI ISA 138. In addition, we found that leather gloves tend to be extremely popular in this market, particularly leathers that have been treated with oil blocking treatments like Watson dry hide. Now, I'm going to hand it over to Christina to elaborate on product solutions to meet the needs of the oil and gas industry. Christina?
Great. Thanks, Rodney. And thanks again to all of you for the opportunity to present some of our key styles that serve the oil and gas industry. So before diving into products, here's just a quick look at our product development process. Part of our process is to analyze our product lines multiple times every year. And the goal is to ensure that our gloves still meet our standards for fit, form, and function based on end user feedback and new material innovations. If we find opportunities to make improvements to our products to better serve our customers, we will make these changes. And we call this innovating the core. We also design with purpose, and we strive to create hand protection that best balances comfort with dexterity, with the goal of minimizing hand injuries on the job site. And finally, we are guided by the voices of our customers. Our gloves are built with and for industrial workers. New developments come from listening directly to the people doing the work. And new products are only launched if it has passed a robust period of end user field testing. So with that, let's get into some products that best serve the oil and gas industry. The first category we'll discuss today are our seamless knits. This category of gloves are designed to have a second skin fit with a coated palm for enhanced grip. All the gloves you see here are made with an 18 gauge cut resistant liner, which we have found is the sweet spot for maximizing comfort while achieving a high level of abrasion, cut, and puncture resistance. These gloves are perfect for workers who require a high level of dexterity, such as electricians, rig operators, or mechanics. The first glove you see here is our 338 Stealth Commando, which features a molecule foam nitrile coating, which is remarkably thin and strong. So it provides the user with a great deal of comfort and dexterity. The glove has been tested to meet ANSI ISCA 105 cut level A8, abrasion level 4, and a puncture level of 4. The high wear area between the thumb and the index finger is reinforced with flat nitrile to extend the longevity of the glove. The next two gloves are our 357 and 357 TPR Dogfight. These are core products in the Watson lineup, which we have innovated as yarn technology improves. The 18 gauge liner with the sandy nitrile coating meets an ANSI ISCA A6 cut resistance, abrasion level 4, and a puncture level of 3, and also has excellent grip in oily, dry, and wet conditions. The thumb saddle, again, has been reinforced with that flat nitrile. So where applications where impact, pinching, or crushing hazards are an issue, the 357 TPR features the back of hand rubber components, which meets an ANSI impact level 2. And all of those gloves that we just talked about also contain sustainable materials and are touchscreen compatible. So for the next category of gloves you see here, we have our high performance category. And these gloves have been widely adopted in heavy industrial applications. For the three styles, they all also feature our waste not polyester made from recycled water bottles. And they're very suitable for applications such as millwrights, drillers, and rig operators. All three of these styles are also fully lined with our cut shield lining, providing 360 degrees of cut resistance. For the first glove you see here, it is our 005 CR Flex Time. The glove has a dry hide water resistant leather palm, which can resist water penetration for up to 3 hours. The glove features an elastic cuff and a Velcro closure for a snug fit and has been tested to meet ANSI ISCA A6 cut level protection, as well as abrasion and puncture level 4. Next, you see here is our 009 CR Oil Change, which is the first industrial work glove to feature sustainable materials on both the palm and back of hand. The full sock cut shield liner has been tested to achieve an ANSI ISCA 105 cut level A6, as well as a puncture and abrasion level of 4. And again, the back of the hand features that reflective piping, and that slip-on style is really great for easy on and off. Finally pictured here is our 1051 breakdown. The back of hand has full TPR coverage for impact, crushing, and pinching protection, which also meets an ANSI ISCA impact level 3. The palm suede is a specialized material which has excellent drape, offering excellent comfort and dexterity while providing a high level of abrasion resistance. So this glove meets an ANSI ISEA 105, cut level A5, abrasion level 6, and a puncture level of 4. And it also comes with a Velcro closure and a neoprene cuff for that snug fit. The next few slides feature gloves that have been widely adopted in the oil and gas industry and in a wide range of heavy-duty applications used by drillers, boilermakers, millwrights, and pipeline construction workers. The first series of leather impact resistant gloves you see were developed in collaboration with one of the largest oil and gas players in the market, actually. Before there were standardized hand protection programs and safety standards, most workers would use regular roper style gloves. But with the increased risk in pinching, crushing, and impact, we were asked to come up with a solution, and the Stormtroopers you see here were born. So the gloves currently feature a soft and flexible deerskin on the back of hand. We're currently working on improving this by changing the back of hand to a water-resistant goatskin to increase the liquid resistance as well as the abrasion resistance. The palm is made from a hard-wearing cowhide and is excellent for abrasion and puncture resistance, and also has been treated to provide excellent grip. The rubber components in the back of hand meet an ANSI ISCA impact level 2 and are also FR, so they will self-extinguish and not melt or drip if it is exposed to flame. 5782 is our driver style for the slip-on option for that easy on and off. For workers requiring more forearm protection, the 5782G has a 5 1/4 inch wide cow split gauntlet cuff, and it is wide enough to also fit over coveralls. And the last glove iteration you see here is our 5782CR, which has a full sock cut resistant liner that meets an ANSI ISCA 105 cut level A5. The glove also features a 3-inch wide cuff with a reflective strip for extra visibility in dim conditions. Next in the leather impact resistant glove selection is our well-known Van Goat series. So these gloves feature a dry hide liquid resistant goatskin, which also offers excellent abrasion resistance while providing the user with a high level of dexterity. The Van Goat series all feature the cut shield liner and has been tested to achieve an ANSI ISCA cut level A6, abrasion level 4, and a puncture level of 5. The back of hand and the top of thumb has the FR impact resistant components that can achieve an ANSI ISCA impact level 2 to minimize impact, crush, and pinch injuries. The 547 TPR is the driver style for easy on and off, and the 549 TPR features a 4 1/2 inch wide stiff split gauntlet cuff for forearm protection that again can easily fit over coveralls. So you've heard me mention a few times already the cut shield liner. One important detail to note is that our cut shield liner is an aramide based liner, which can be easily identified by its yellow color. Aramide is known for its exceptional strength and thermal stability, and it is inherently resistant to abrasion and flame. So it is important in hand protection involving not just cut risks, but also exposure to heat and hot surfaces like process piping and steam systems. The branded name for aramide is more commonly known as Kevlar. And you may find some similar gloves which feature cut-resistant liners made with a base of an HPPE fiber. HPPE fibers are easily identifiable as the liners are generally white and have a more slippery hand feel. And HPPE stands for high performance polyethylene. And while it can provide exceptional cut resistance, it actually has a low tolerance for heat and can start to break down if exposed to 130 to 100 degrees Celsius or 266 to 302 degrees Fahrenheit. So when choosing hand protection for industrial settings like refineries or chemical plants, where hazards like hot process piping and steam is around, it is imperative to choose a glove where the yellow aramide based cut resistant lining is in the glove for the best protection. So our Van Goat series, all of the gloves that you'll see featured here feature that type of lining. The final gloves that you'll see here today, or the final gloves featured in the leather and impact resistant category, is the Shock Trooper series. These gloves are made with a hard wearing liquid resistant goatskin shell. The gloves are fully lined, again, with that cut shield aramide liner, and have been tested to meet an ANSI ISCA cut level A7, abrasion level 4, and puncture level 4 as well. The seams are all Kevlar stitched, and the flame resistant rubber components on the back of hand are actually enhanced with D3O additive to achieve an ANSI ISCA impact level 3. And that'll give you that extra protection from those impact, pinching, and crushing hazards. But one key feature about these Shock Troopers is that it features an EVA padded palm that provides vibration dampening for applications where grinders, riveters, needle guns, or other vibration tools may be used. But it is important to note that gloves only provide a temporary reduction in the vibration and will not completely eliminate it. So users must be mindful to limit their exposure time and to make sure their tools are properly maintained to reduce stress on the body. The driver style here is our 5785, and where extra forearm protection is needed, the 5785G has a 4.5-inch wide gauntlet cuff. All of the gloves that we've just talked about are also available in insulated versions if you need protection in cold conditions as well. So here's a testimonial from a rigger who's been using our Shock Trooper for over 80 hours. I mean, this is truly a testament to what a workhorse this glove is in the oil and gas industry. We've received many comments like this over the years since we've developed this glove. So again, it's really proven itself on the job site and is used and developed for and by industrial workers. So we are now going to move on to another commonly used glove in the oil and gas industry, which are welding gloves. So these are used by boilermakers in pipeline construction, by millwrights and pipe fitters. So we're not going to get into too much detail about each one of these gloves, as we've just did a welding specific webinar. So please check that out online as well. But we have been manufacturing gloves in Vancouver since 1918, and the gloves that you see here are all stitched with Kevlar thread, made in our Canadian factory, and use premium leathers. The 263AW is our favorite TIG welding glove. It is made with deer split, so gives the user a second skin fit. It has a extended gauntlet cuff, which provides that forearm protection, and comes in a wide range of sizes from 6 to 13 as well. Next, you'll see our 533, again used for, this one is used for applications like MIG welding, where more protection from heat and sparks are required. The palm is made from a reverse grain leather, and the back of hand is made for elk split for that dexterity and breathability. And again, it has that extended cuff for that forearm protection, as well as a back patch on the back of hand to give you that extra protection from heat and sparks. We then see our most popular 525 buck weld. This is made from elk split, which is again very soft and breathable, and also very flexible for that high dexterity. And it also features back patches on the back of the hand to protect the seams, thus allowing to increase the longevity of the glove, as well as to protect from heat and sparks. And finally, for applications involving extreme heat, we have our 1039 meltdown. This is made with elk split, and key areas of the glove, as you can see by the back of hand, the palm, the pulse protector, is made with green heavy duty cow split to increase that resistance from heat, flame, and sparks. And this version here is lined with a cotton fleece liner, and the cuff is also lined with wool for extra protection. Here are some more of our popular welding glove styles. Our 2755 is our deer split TIG welding glove, again, providing that high level of dexterity while all the seams are reinforced with Kevlar, as well as that extra long gauntlet cuff for forearm protection. Next, you see here is our 2780, which again has been proven to be quite the workhorse in our welding collection. The shell is made with a cow split to withstand heavy duty wear and tear. And it's really good for applications such as MIG welding and grinding. The cut shield liner is in the interior of the glove to provide that extra layer of heat resistance, but also to protect against cuts from sharp and rough edges. And the glove has been tested to meet ANSI 105, the ANSI ISCA 105 cut level A5, abrasion level 6, and a puncture level of 5. And the last glove you'll see here is our 2753 backhander. This has reverse grain deer skin on the palm and the back, which means the smooth side faces on the inside of the hand, so the wearer gets maximum comfort and dexterity. There is a cow split back patch that covers the back of the hand on both sides, on both hands. And all of the seams, again, are Kevlar stitch and features the 5.5-inch wide gauntlet cuff to protect your forearms. The final category of gloves we are going to cover today is our disposable gloves. Disposable gloves are perfect for applications where a temporary barrier is needed and a second skin fit is very important. So the first glove here is our 555 PF under the Grease Monkey brand. This glove is a lightly textured 8mm disposable glove with an 11-inch length. This is an extremely robust glove and can withstand a great deal of abrasion without ripping or tearing. The fit and durability of this glove has made this the most popular disposable glove in our lineup. The next three gloves we'll review are under the Green Monkey brand of gloves. These contain our reclaim additive, which is an inert additive that is only activated once the gloves have been used and disposed of. So in a landfill condition, the reclaim additive will attract microbes that will accelerate the breakdown of the gloves. A normal disposable will take over 100 years to degrade in a landfill, but our Green Monkeys are able to biodegrade in 7 to 11 years in a landfill condition and have been tested under the D5526 standard. So the first two Green Monkey gloves you see here are our 558 and 557 nitrile gloves. The 5.8s are a black nitrile that is 8mm thick and 11 inches long. And the 5.7s are an orange nitrile with a 6mm thickness and a 9.5-inch length. But the unique feature is that both feature a raised diamond textured pattern for that enhanced grip in oily and wet conditions. And also nitrile provides an excellent temporary barrier against oil, solvents, grease, and light chemical exposure. So the final glove you see here is our 559 PF, and this is our 4mm nitrile glove with a 9.5-inch rolled cuff. But one of the more interesting ways we've seen this glove used is under other work gloves. Because it is so thin and strong, many workers will wear this glove under welding gloves to protect against metal shavings and splinters. And these gloves can also be worn under seamless knits for an extra layer of liquid and moisture resistance. So what sets Watson gloves apart? Well, we have 107 years of glove making experience, and our gloves are built for and tested by the pros. Our products are competitively priced, and by listening to the voice of the customer, we build our gloves to meet industry safety specifications. And of course, we have a wide range of sizes to fit all workers. So from here, I'm going to pass the presentation back to Rodney to speak on how we can help you find the right hand protection solutions.
Thank you, Christine. I really appreciate that great summary of the wide array of products that we have available to support the oil and gas industry. I just want to just pause for a moment and provide some important context for the remainder of our presentation today. And that is just a short discussion of the hierarchy of controls. This framework really identifies the order of safety management activities ranked by highest gain to lowest. I'm sure that many of you are very familiar with this. I think the important part of this chart is that as you consider the hierarchy of controls, that PPE really represents the last line of defense. to an injury. And so there are a variety of different steps, protocols, actions that should be taken before you are relying on PPE to provide safety for your workers. So please keep the hierarchy of controls in mind as you consider the appropriate safety solutions for your workers. All right, we're going to talk now about some general steps that can help you as end users with the glove selection process. We recognize that glove selection can be challenging, it can be very difficult to do. But we believe that these simple steps, and they are indeed very general steps, do help lay out a pretty solid framework for you as end users to follow when you're selecting hand protection. So the first step is to really understand the actual need. And the best way for us to understand your needs is to perform an on-site assessment. We formalize an on-site assessment process that we call SWOT. SWOT stands for Sustainable Watson Assessment Team. And this is a free service that we offer that's conducted by our team of hand protection specialists. The goal of this process is to reduce hand injuries, reduce consumption, reduce cost, and reduce waste, the 4 R's of this process. The output is a very detailed report that includes a summary of potential hazards, as well as potential glove solutions. We also look for cost savings opportunities, SKU consolidation opportunities, as well as sustainability improvements, depending on how your company values the need for sustainability. Signing up for a SWOT is very easy to do. We've really streamlined that process, and there's an easy tool available on our website to sign up for a SWOT. And you can navigate to this site right now by scanning the QR code that's on this chart. And you will notice that on many of the charts that follow, there will be a QR code that will allow you to very quickly and easily navigate to the content that's being discussed on the slide. The second step is a glove trial, and this is a really critical step that shouldn't be missed. There is a lot of information that's available online from us as well as from our worthy rivals, but there's really no substitute for putting prospective gloves on your workers' hands and evaluating them in the field. Why? One, because people have very strong preferences in their gloves. Trials are going to provide you with an opportunity to allow your workers to share their feedback. Secondly, listening to worker feedback is really the most powerful action you can take to ensure the ultimate buy-in to a potential glove program or changes to the gloves that you're going to be using. For trialing, we also have a crossover tool that provides the Watson gloves alternative for any of the gloves that you may currently be using today or potentially evaluating for use. There's another option, and that is, as we think about rollout and compliance, we have every safety professional knows that compliance is critical. We get this at Watson Gloves. So we've developed a variety of tools to help you drive compliance with your teams. And this is an area where I believe we really punch above our weight class. We have an amazing in-house marketing team that can build tools to help drive compliance, like educational content on topics like glove features or performance standards that you can use in toolbox talks or safety meetings. Another great tool that we offer is what we call glove boards. You can see an example here on the right-hand side of this chart. The idea here is that we will build large format charts that will identify which gloves are approved for use on your site or in a particular work area. We can build these a variety of different ways. We can focus on the products, or we can arrange to identify work areas or work tasks and display which gloves are appropriate for use in those work areas or tasks. And you can post these right in your work areas to ensure that you're driving appropriate compliance. We can also make product guides or mini catalogs that can be useful tools to share the appropriate gloves for use with your employees. We have a wide variety of marketing tools available as well that will allow you to easily learn more about our products. We encourage you to visit our site at watsongloves.com or click on the QR code that's on this chart. There is so much information on our site to aid you in the glove selection process. And I want you to note that there are a variety of different ways that we've provided for you to search for gloves on our site. For example, you can search by glove type, like disposables or leather or cold weather gloves, by hazard or by application. So a variety of different ways for you to be able to identify the appropriate glove for you to evaluate. The most searched hazard is cut resistance. And many end users have a minimum cut level for their sites or specific work area application. When you select cut resistance on this page, you can immediately select the cut level that's appropriate for your application per ANSI ISA 105 or EN 388. So it's a really, really powerful and streamlined way for you to evaluate potential glove solutions. Our marketing team has worked very hard to help streamline the glove selection process. So please, I encourage you, check out our website. And then lastly, we've created a central source of information on our website that we've called the Distributor Hub. It's called that, but it certainly can be used by end users as well. The QR code on this page is going to take you directly to this resource page. And again, here you can find a wealth of information, including a link to product search, as well as industry standards like ANSI ISA 105 or EN standards, as well as you'll find infographics, pre-recorded video content on standards, just a variety of different information, all leveraging our deep expertise around industrial safety standards. And as always, if you have any questions on any of this content, please reach out to us. There is a chat feature available on our website as well, so you can speak live with one of our very experienced customer service professionals to answer any questions that you might have.
Fantastic.
One last comment I'll make here real quickly is we've shared that the North American oil and gas industry is massive, over 11 million workers, solid growth opportunity rates, but hand injuries are still a real concern in this market, and the right solutions are really needed to ensure that workers in this space are going to be kept safe. At Watson Gloves, we've got the products, the tools, the resources, and the expertise to help you ensure that your workers remain safe. And we want to work collaboratively with you to ensure that your workers do just that. So I just want to conclude and say, it's been a real honor to present to you today. We really appreciate the time. And now we're going to hand things back over for a Q&A. Thank you very much.
Great. Yeah, as Rodney just mentioned, now is the time for the Q&A. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, you need any extra help from the Watson Gloves team, they are here now. So get those questions, comments, anything that you need into the Q&A, into the Zoom Q&A at the bottom or the top of your screen, and we will get to them now. Someone asked, do you have anything for an HF unit or an alkylation unit?
Thank you. Actually, it would be interesting to learn what you are currently using. I see that an HF unit, some of the hazards are corrosive and hazardous substances. Perhaps this is something where a chemical resistant glove might be needed, or maybe even some of our disposables, depending on the level of exposure. But definitely, this is, we probably, if we were to refine the application and learn about all the different hazards, can figure out a hand protection solution for you based off of that.
Yeah, we would definitely welcome the opportunity to discuss more details about those potentially hazardous chemicals. There are a few other things that really help us to understand and make sure that we're providing the right solutions, like exposure time, what the concentration levels are, the chemicals that you might be exposed to, etc. So, but as Christina mentioned, with a few more details, we believe that we might have some potential solutions for you to evaluate.
Perfect. Yeah. And as Rodney mentioned, there is a chat feature on the Watson's Gloves website. So make sure you head on over to that. If you're not getting what you need already, make sure that you're reaching out and determining what you need. One of the main questions is always, how many different types of gloves should we have on hand on the work site?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think for me, this gets back to the SWOT assessment process that we described. The best way for us to be able to answer that question is to observe the actual work that's being performed, to better understand your business and your business needs. And based on that information, we can provide you with a comprehensive set of recommendations. And as I mentioned before, we can pull this together in a very professional report that you can easily share with your team as well as with your leadership and executive teams, so they better understand the full breadth and scope of what's required for a potential hand protection program. There's no one size fits all answer to that question. And so we welcome the opportunity to work collaboratively with you to come up with the best solution for your needs.
Got a question here. With TPR of back off hand protection becoming a more common practice in oil and gas,
Yep.
What is Watson Gloves doing to make sure they maintain user comfort and dexterity?
One of the main ways that we can do that is by design, really. We make sure that we're actually doing a rolling change to continuously improve the design of our TPR by increasing the segmentation of the finger TPR of the finger, so that it kind of will bend and move more naturally with your hand. Another thing that we're doing, again, just to really focus on that flexibility, is to move all of the branding off of some of their knuckle components. Again, all with the whole goal to have that impact protection, the TPR components, move more freely and more natural with the back of hand. So these are incremental little changes that we are continually looking at on improving our products.
That's fantastic. I love that. One question I'm always going to ask, because I love to reiterate the answer, but what are the common issues with a glove that we should be looking out for to know when it's time to replace that, to move on and get our new gloves?
Yeah, I'd like to defer this one over to Al, who's our Director of National Accounts and Business Development. Al has some very extensive experience in the oil and gas sector, and I think he'd be positioned well to give some commentary based on that deep expertise in the sector. Al, you want to make a couple of comments on that?
Good morning, good afternoon, folks. And if I understand the question, it's just around when to replace hand protection in the oil and gas space. So it's going to come in a variety of different forms, right? Obviously, if you're working with the gloves and you are starting to wear a hole in the leather, for example, if we're talking about our Van Goghs, or if you're wearing through the coating on the palm of our seamless knit gloves, anything that kind of I guess increases or breaks through the glove in some capacity, you'll want to replace that. In the event that the glove is overly saturated. I know a big challenge in the Canadian market and the oil sands is they'll get into some real messy jobs and the gloves will get completely covered in bitumen, right? Bitumen is very tarry, very sticky, and so on and so forth. So gloves will be replaced in some of those messier jobs. But typically, if you start to see holes in it, you start to see, wear through the leather, and you start seeing that aramid liner exposed, it's a good time to replace the gloves.
Yeah, the only other thing that I would add to that, thanks for that, Al. The only thing I would add is that also exposure to chemicals, exposure to any non-hazardous liquids sometimes can cause the leather materials to dry out or to get stiffer. So look for stiffness. Look for also with chemical exposure, there's potential for cracking. So as Al mentioned, any obvious signs of wear are an indication that it's time to replace that glove.
Okay, fantastic. We have another question here, and I know Al touched on this a little bit, but you mentioned your liners are para-aramid liners. Can you remind us why that is important over HPPE?
Sure. Aramide is basically the generic name for Kevlar. So it is inherently very resistant to breakdown when exposed to high heat, to flame. And so it is very good for applications where there may be those types of hazards involved. It will also give you that extra layer of contact heat protection in case there's process piping or steam. So the level at which a aramide fiber will start to break down is way higher than, say, for example, HPPE, which again is characterized by its white color, a generally slipperier hand feel, which again stands for high performance polyethylene. So just the makeup of an aramide fiber is just inherently better for resistance against high heat and flame, and also to like in where contact heat on hot surfaces may be present, then that's what you want to look for.
Perfect. Well, that looks like all that I have for questions right now. So while I have you all on the line, is there anything you want our audience to keep top of mind, to take away from today so that they can be successful, so they can keep their hands safe, so that they can choose the right handwear for the right application?
Yeah, I'll just make a couple of comments, and others please chime in. I would just say, please, two things. One, check out our website, watsongloves.com. We have made huge investments in providing relevant content for you in the glove selection process. And we understand that glove selection can be very challenging. So we have built this content with that in mind. We built this content in a way that we believe is going to help you as safety professionals choose the appropriate glove for your workers' needs. The other thing that I would say, secondly to that, is feel free to reach out to us, whether you reach out to us through the online chat or you reach out to one of our hand protection specialists directly. We are here for you. We welcome the opportunity to speak with you and answer your questions and collaborate with you to ensure worker safety.
Awesome. Well, Rodney, Christina, Al, and Laura in the background there, I want to give you a huge thank you for your abundance of knowledge in the hand protection sphere. We always appreciate you being here because you keep us safe, and we love all of the different innovative things that you're coming out with. And as Christina said, they're constantly taking a look and adapting and changing and making sure that we're not only staying safe, but we're staying compliant and we're staying comfortable. So thanks again to Watson Gloves. And again, huge shout out to AD for allowing us to be here. And of course, everybody in the audience, thank you, because without you guys, none of this would be possible. So thank you for keeping our workplaces safe. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.